Welcome to Dad Rock, Episode 3, Father's Day Edition. I got some fun stuff for you. Let's do this. Now, I don't have a lawn of my own, but on Father's Day weekend, I'm at my parents' house here to mow my parents' lawn. Special shout out to everyone out there who doesn't have a lawn. This episode's going to be quick, and I'm going to cover this. My favorite Danzig record, my favorite Misfits record, and my favorite Samhain record. And then I'm going to let you know which my favorite band is out of those three. Here we go. Welcome to Dad Rock. Okay, so now that I just mowed my dad's lawn, I wanted to spend some quality time with him real quick for Father's Day before we start the show. Here's my father. So, how you doing today, Dad? Okay, let's get on with the show. Okay. Well, I had to change my shirt before I headed back here because my other Misfits shirt got really dirty from mowing the lawn. But now I feel clean. I'm ready to go. So, I'm going to start with Samhain. And I had it down to 2 records, okay? It's very hard to choose. November Coming Fire, which I absolutely love, and Initium. So I wanted to show both of these because it really was a toss-up. And I ended up going with Initium, this one. So this is my favorite Samhain record, and I'll tell you why. This was released in 1984 on Plan 9 Records by Glenn Danzig, and the first song, the intro, was just so weird and dark sounding. It's called Initium, it's the intro to the album, and it's recorded on 4-track, I believe, at Erie Vaughn's house. The rest of the album was recorded in Lodi, New Jersey, and to me, it sounds like it was recorded in the serial killer's basement. That's why I like it so much. It's dark, it's gritty, it's just lo-fi production, whatever you want to call it, and look at this album cover. One of the best album covers of all time. You got Danzig in the center. You got Erie Vaughn here. He actually signed this. He's such a nice guy. Then you got Steve Zing over here, who Elliott interviewed at one point. Now I'm going to flip this over so you can see the songs in the back. My favorite song is Archangel, the album closer. It's such a really cool, catchy song, and a really cool bit of information about it is that I heard or read that Danzig originally wrote this song for David Vanian of The Damned to sing on. David Vanian is another one of my favorite punk singers of all time. It's funny because The Damned and the Misfits are 2 of my favorite punk bands of all time. So just when I read that this song was originally supposed to be for David Vanian, I thought that was really cool. Another cool tidbit of information is the fact that Lyle Presler, who played guitar for Minor Threat, plays lead guitar on some of the tracks on this album. So this is why Initium is my favorite Samhain record. It barely took over November Coming Fire, but this is my favorite. I'll roll a little quick clip of Steve Zing talking to Elliott for you there.
Duncan Hines, right? Vanilla icing.
Sounds tasty.
I don't like beer. I'm going to have to go with the boobs. What about you?
Oh, it's an incriminating question either way.
World Coming Down or November Coming Fire?
This is a biased question. I have to go with World Coming Down.
I might have to go with that myself.
Now it's time to talk about Danzig. What's my favorite Danzig album? Danzig 1, the first one. Now, Danzig 2 comes really close for me, but Danzig 1 is one of the best heavy rock metal albums of all time. Now, this is the band's best-selling album, and the songs Possession and Twist of Cain, really, really good songs on this album. Both of those songs have James Hetfield of Metallica singing backing vocals on it. You might not hear it, but if you really listen to it again now, you'll hear his vocals on there. He's not credited for that on this album, probably because of label stuff, but that's a really cool fun fact. Another thing about those 2 songs is that Glenn Danzig originally had those songs for Samhain, and then they ended up on this album. But if you look at Samhain, I can't show you here because it's dark. Can you see that? You can? Thank you. This album, Samhain, Final Descent, both those songs are on here. This is an awesome album, perfect from start to finish. I love the stripped down basic production. It proves that a band like this with just bass, drums, guitar, and vocals could completely kill it. And that's another reason why I really like this, and that's another reason why Rick Rubin was known to be a good producer, because he got the best organic vibe from the band and recorded them as they are. So anyway, Danzig 1 is my favorite, but Danzig 2 is my second favorite. And it comes really, really close. It was hard for me to decide, actually, because I love this album a lot. I have it on compact disc. I received it, or I bought it, when I was a sophomore in high school, and I really love it. A Long Way Back from Hell, Snakes of Christ, Killer Wolf, Tired of Being Alive, so many good songs. Her Black Wings is another one of my favorites. Blood and Tears is such a cool, slow song. And Pain in the World, the album closer, is fucking evil as hell, and I love it. If you look at the back of this, I love the way they have the photos of the band members. It resembles the first Doors album, the way that they had the band members on that album cover, which is really, really cool. Now, I wanted to save the best for last. Yes, that's right, the best. The Misfits are my favorite of the three bands. The Misfits are one of my favorite bands of all time. The Misfits, when I first heard them, Walk Among Us, that album, I don't even remember how old I was. I was young, and I had it on tape, then I eventually got it on CD, then I eventually got it on vinyl, and I used to have it on all different kinds of original vinyl. I had to sell them on eBay, unfortunately, so Elliott, who's on the camera right now, could have a Christmas. So Walk Among Us is my favorite Misfits record, and it's one of my favorite albums of all time, especially punk. Now, I'm going to go through my notes here and read them off to you. Walk Among Us. Walk Among Us came out in March of 1982. And you know what's funny? From 1982 to 1988, that timeline is only 6 years. So this came out in 1982. And then 1988 is when the first Danzig record came out. So between this and all the other Misfits releases, and then the Samhain releases, and then Danzig, could you imagine putting out that much incredible material within that 6 year span? That's crazy awesome. Anyway, it was recorded in Boonton, New Jersey, which is near where I grew up. Some of it was recorded in Fair Lawn, New Jersey. And this album, it's got really catchy sing-along choruses. It's such an awesome album. Now, Henry Rollins has a radio show called Fanatic, and he talked about this compared to this. Walk Among Us here compared to 12 Hits from Hell, which is the unofficial release. And he did an A-B. He played one song from this and the same song, but just this version. And he actually had the songs off of this release coming out ahead of the songs on this, meaning like the sound quality and maybe the energy and the production. So that's really interesting for you to know if you don't know that. Both of them are great, but Walk Among Us is my favorite. Now, the Misfits are playing next year in 2022 at Riot Fest in Chicago on September 17th. They're playing this whole album, Walk Among Us, in its entirety. Are any of you going to go there? I would love to go. Hopefully, if we can go, we'll see you there. But that's going to be awesome. So now, Elliott, who's on the camera there, says he likes Earth AD better than Walk Among Us. It's funny because he interviewed Doyle from the Misfits not too long ago, maybe a few years or so ago, and Doyle said that he likes Earth AD better. And at that time, I believe from what I remember, Elliott said he liked Walk Among Us better at that time. So he kind of shifted over to Earth AD since then. As a matter of fact, let's run that clip to make sure we have that history correct.
Earth AD or Walk Among Us?
Earth AD.
I like Walk Among Us a lot.
So let's have Elliott come over and explain to us why he likes Earth AD better now. So Elliott, come on over here.
The reason why I like Earth AD better than Walk Among Us and why I liked Walk Among Us at the beginning, because at a younger age, you know, listening to punk, I liked the more catchy, more stuff that would grab your attention, and because it was at a younger age. And now that I'm older, I have more, you know, anger, and I want to listen to something that's more heavy and fast. So Earth AD to me is that.
That makes sense. And you know, it's funny, if you lower this a little bit, you know, before you lower this, take a look at that beautiful artwork on the back. But you know what, that makes a lot of sense. But if you notice, Elliott is wearing his Misfits Walk Among Us shirt, okay? But Earth AD is his favorite album from there. I'm wearing my Misfits Earth AD shirt, but Walk Among Us is my favorite Misfits album. Isn't that funny?
What a coincidence.
It's so weird, right? Oh, man, we're having a good time, right?
Yeah,
You
just
know, happy Father's Day to me too, right? You know, just bonding over records.
talking about records.
So we've reached the end of the show. Real quick, I just want to make sure I got everything covered. Now, please, as always, comment below. Let me know your Misfits experiences, your Samhain or Danzig experiences, any shows you've been to. Have you seen the Misfits in one of their reunion shows? I want to hear about that. Let me know your favorite album from them. I just loved, we both loved to read your comments, and it's either me or Elliott that'll respond. And thanks again. And once again, we are on Instagram. It's Little Punk People on Instagram, Elliott Fulham on Instagram. We're also now on TikTok. Elliott's on TikTok as Elliott Fulham, and there's also Little Punk People on TikTok, and as always, we're on Facebook as well. Please like, subscribe, share this stuff, because the more you keep watching and commenting, the more we'll keep doing this. This is our 3rd episode, and we'll keep doing more as long as you want to see it. Otherwise, it'll just be me talking to a wall, which might end up being pretty funny as well. Happy Father's Day.